welcome to Normal is Too Boring for TV. I'm your host, Paulina Rigel, and today we're going to be talking about Southern Charm, Season 11, Episode 1 and 2. And in honor of this fantastic show, I'm wearing my favorite over here to honor the three stooges of the Southern Charm, Austin, Shep, and Craig. So, wise man, are you serious? That's just the vibe of the show. If you know, you know. To be honest with you, I recorded the very first recap of season 11, episode 1 first, but I kind of had a feeling that my opinion of like this, what's to come, is going to change based off of literally the second episode. And to be honest with you, yeah. Therefore, you will not see that recording. The main thing that I wanted to point out is Craig. I liked Craig when he was with Paige. He gave me hope that he had changed a little bit. Maybe, well, she was a good influence on him, right? But he seemed to be more level-headed than he usually is, and we've seen him lie throughout years and years. And I'm a lawyer and a storyteller. No, you're a liar and a douchebag, man. I really hate him these days. The way that he handled the Paige breakup was just so disrespectful to her, and he's lost all of the little pinch of respect that I had for the man. But that's not even the main point why I have beef with Craig, personally, as if I know him. You all know and remember that conversation at the beach in the Bahamas between him and Austin, which we see in the first half a minute of the very first episode. They're talking about this at Austin's birthday party in June, where Austin says, "Look, man, you said you were an addict, and then now you're a king, like the shot king, and you know you basically used me, and this was not like, I don't trust you, I don't believe you anymore." And then Craig goes, "Why are you obsessed with the way I live my life?" Now, I understand 100% what Austin's saying. When I just watched the very first episode, I kind of started, like, I understood what Craig was doing. I thought I did. So my point was, yeah, it's actually really hard, to like come to your friends and say, "Listen, I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an addict. I have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Therefore, I can't really hang out with you." Like, I'm referring to like Austin, Shep versus Craig, like them three being like going to bars and hanging out, doing shots and whatnot. Like personally, I am the same way. Like, I have a very hard time with alcohol, and I'm like, I keep trying to sober up. I've been nearly sober for like a month now. So I understand where he's coming from. Like, you want to proclaim to everybody that I'm an addict and I want to better myself and better my life. But then recovery is not linear, It's not, people relapse all the time. It's not easy. So my original thought was, well, maybe he tried to open up to Austin, and then that was the first time he said it on camera, even though we all knew he had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. But now that I've seen the second episode, I'm like, well, you full of shit, man. The way that he basically weaponized and used an addict, an A word, he basically got himself a free out of jail card and kind of swept everything under the rug when it came to his issues with Austin, his issues with Shep. It's just so disrespectful to everyone in like the sober community, or anyone who's struggling, who's actually like an addict. I'm not saying he's not an addict. I believe that he potentially is, but not the way that he portrayed it at the beach. The minute you actually use the A word, and then you act the way you're acting in the episode 2, man, I have a fucking big issue with that guy. Like, this is just, you should not be doing this. It triggered me, truly. Like I'm very curious to go back and listen to uh Bros and Shows, Steele Russell and Shoot Magoot. Steele is sober, and I've been kind of listening to them and like following his sober journey for like a couple of years now. Been a fan, and I'm actually curious what he says because he has the best take on it, and Shoot as well. But anyway, this was, in my humble opinion, really fucking disrespectful because spoiler alert, when we go into episode 2, he's doing jello shots, he's drinking as if that never happened in the Bahamas. Like, who does that? Who does that? Just just go away. And also the way like Austin and Shep were talking about it in the baby store. Shep saying, "Well, now everyone's like, yeah, we want Craig, like single Craig back. He's back. Like, let's hang out." I understand they miss their friend, sure, but they miss the bar friend. And when Shep says, yeah, he would need to like reevaluate, his like recalibrate. I think the word he used and like reinvent his relationship with alcohol and like reinvent this new Craig. Man, last what reunion I think, just like the way that Andy Cohen was talking to you, he was literally saying, maybe it's not healthy for you to be on this show. Maybe you should just, kind of fuck off and maybe go to a rehab, or you need to reevaluate your relationship with alcohol. Like, he was blackout drunk and a hot mess and rude to people at BravoCon last year. Like, you are not the person to actually be telling Craig or anyone really to reevaluate, like, our relationship with alcohol. Sad guy. Sad. I don't hate him or anything. I'm sure he's book smart, but a big dum dum. Like, this Peter Pan club there in Charleston is unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. But anyway, I want to see more throughout the season and how this conversation came about. Like about the sobriety at the birthday party, where that portion where Craig was saying, "Why are you so obsessed with the way I live my life?" That kind of spoke to me in the sense where I would, in the past, like it's an ongoing thing, try to not drink and kind of come out to people and say, "I'm not drinking." Then all of a sudden, I am drinking again because I've been sober for quite a while. And then I'd be like, well, I can handle one drink, right? Or I can handle two, like a normal person, go have like a glass of wine with dinner and like simply go home. It's just not who I am, or any other addict, or anyone else who has an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. So potentially what he was referring to when he was saying that, it's like, I would say that and then go back to my friends once I'm like, oh, well, I can have one glass of wine. And the friends are like getting at me and saying, oh, well, why are you drinking? This is not an accountability buddy. Now I don't want to hang out with you because you will be like not understanding my process. Everyone's got a different process, and you'll be just pointing fingers at me and telling me that I'm drinking again. I'm well fucking aware. I'm aware that I'm fucking up. Or I think I can handle it this time around. Why don't you be supportive of whatever I'm going through? Anyway, but I think it's all out the fucking window, to be honest, because now we see Craig doing jello shots at the beach and drinking as if nothing ever happened. So fuck that guy. Any respect I had for him is gone. Another one that I wanted to touch on was Molly. I really love Molly. She's so sweet. She's a little dork, and she's so beautiful. I just adore her. I love me a nerd. Really love her, but it seems like she's in a bit of a tough position here. And just from what I remember from her backstory, she not quite recently, but semi recently moved to Charleston after her modeling career. Now that her weight fluctuates and she can't really be a model as much anymore, she's trying to navigate a new normal, and she seems to be struggling, and again, spoiler alert, like what episode 1, she's lost her snake. You look in the house, and the only clean area in the house is the little snake aquarium that has a giant log in front of it. And when Rod comes around, he's like, "How do you live like that, girl? This is a mess." And truly, like, when your house is a mess, your mind is a mess. And then she's having a meltdown in front of Corey. Also, ew. Ugh. But like, I'm worried about her. I hope she gets herself to the point where she can just, you know, dust herself off, pick herself up, and just be shining how she deserves to. I really love her. And oh my god, I was rewatching. My parents were visiting a couple of weeks ago. My dad is like so Eastern European. I just had like Southern Charm season 10 muted just in the background, and he was just literally just watching. He's like, "Oh, all these people are so beautiful. All these girls are models." And then Molly comes around and he's like, "Oh, she's plain. What is she doing there?" I got so mad. I literally punched him. I was like, "Don't you dare. She's a model. She's beautiful and she's amazing. So don't you dare. Nobody fucking say anything bad about my Molly. I will find you and I will fight." But anyway, I really hope she doesn't hook up with Corey, because it's like bottom of the barrel, just trash. Like, girl, you deserve so much better. It doesn't look like it, because at the singles party that Sally threw, she was not like necessarily interacting with him aside from that keg stand, which is iconic. No, 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 I don't want to do it. 2 seconds later. Fucking, she's so cool. Anyway, another point I want to touch on is Sally and Venita. The way that they were talking about their friendship truly reminded me of Taylor and Olivia in season 9 opening, when they were like going rollerblading or something at the like waterfront of a sort. We're sisters. We were navigating breakups, and now we're just kind of like best friends. And what, like, within few episodes, it just dwindled into nothing, and then became absolute shit. And over what? Over a guy. So we have the exact same situation here. Not exact same, but like, they started off being friends after JT was being a dick to Venita, and then Sally decided to kind of associate herself with Venita, became her friend, which right now looking at it doesn't look like she was an actual friend. It was just convenient. And also, like, my conspiracy theory is that Sally so wanted to be on the show, and like she wanted a storyline. Therefore, she decided to associate herself with Venita. And Venita kind of needed someone too, but she's not like like that. She doesn't think of a storyline, like she doesn't have that mindset of a storyline. She's a genuine person. She's like very authentic on TV. She's very much herself. So I truly think, time will tell, that Sally just used Venita for a storyline. I will eat my own words if that's not the case. But just judging off of this and this episode 2, where, well, first of all, Rod was right. Like, she is boy crazy, you know. Shout out to Sheena Shea. This one's also boy crazy. And why, Sally? Just get rid of that excessive, spray tan. You're well off financially. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're a full package, man. Like, I understand the pickings are slim in Charleston. Great. But Craig, basically what she's done is she claims to be friends with Venita, but then goes after Craig. And the conversation when Venita was literally picking up like decorations for Sally's singles soiree, she goes, "Oh yeah, I invited Craig," like over the phone when Venita was with Rodrigo. "Oh yeah, I invited Craig. Oh, I forgot you guys are beefing." What kind of friend are you, girl? Friends like you burn in hell. And the episode 1 at Patricia's house at the baby shower, You were not trying to make peace between like Vanita and Craig or get them to talk to each other for Vanita's benefit. She was trying to do that for her own benefit so she can eat her cake and keep it too. So she can be friends with Vanita, and then she wanted to come out of it as a fucking hero and say, "Oh well, see, I facilitated negotiation here, and then you guys are friends now. So Vanita is gonna be cool with her being with Craig, and Craig is gonna be cool with her being friends with Vanita. But her priority, don't be fooled, has always been Craig. And it sounds like and looks like she's had her eye on him for a hot second now. So I'm sorry, girl. You're not a girl's girl. This is redonkulous. And also, you have an eye out for Austin, proclaiming the second he breaks up with Audrey, um, she's on to him. Like she would hook up the day after. You said that on camera. What if they actually went and became like an official couple, like moved in together? Who wants to see that on TV, you crazy person? Then you also have the huts for who, like the Craig and probably Whitner, I think this new guy, probably that might be. You're just boy crazy. You don't need to be. You don't need to be. Be choosy. It's the only way to fucking get them, girl. Like, no one wants a needy chick. Ugh. And you betrayed Vanita. And like the way that conversation ended at the decoration store. You're the best friend I have ever had, Vanita. Full of shit. Then at the single soiree, she barely pays attention to Vanita. She's all over Craig. And then the new girl, her so called friend, comes in. And she has the audacity to go back and say to her friend, what's her name? Hold on. Pause. Charlie. So then she goes into her confessionals and goes, "Yeah, Charlie, you're not a girl's girl. Like, what the fuck? You knew that I liked him. You just claimed not even a day ago that you were like just entertaining the idea of maybe hooking up with Craig if let's see how the night goes. And now you have some sort of claim on Craig? So full of shit. Just dog shit. It's don't you see it that he is not that attracted to you? He thinks you're cool. Yeah, he said he thinks you're attractive. You don't know that yet though. Maybe there have been some vibes here and there, and you were there in his hot tub until 4 o'clock in the morning. Nothing happened apparently. Who knows? But like clearly these two have a connection of the sort. He has the huts for her more so than you because she's not needy like you, acting at least. I actually really like Charlie. She kind of seemed really dull in the promotions and like promo materials, like photos, and like they didn't really show much of her in the trailer. But she is stunning. She seems to be like strong-headed, and I like that in a girl in Southern Charm because this is just man's world there. The Three Stooges rule the land, and like they need a baddie like Madison, and hopefully Charlie. Let's see how that plays out to like kind of keep them in check. This is something I needed. I needed a cool chick. Molly is just kind of living in her own land. Benita, I'm glad that they're giving her, but she has an actual storyline this season. I've wanted to see more of Vanita. And I'm glad that her storyline this year is not about being in love with the douchebag like JT. The fact that he actually went to her room after, like she said, after the reunion and stayed at her room until 5 o'clock in the morning, proclaiming his love for her, and then blocked her. Who does that? What a weirdo. He's just so, it's manipulative. What was he trying to do? It's so bizarre. Anyway, long gone. He literally faded from the face of the earth. I think he's in Bali now. Didn't he sell everything and moved? Godspeed. Just do you? Just away from us. Like, we don't need you. fuckboy exorcism my ass. So who else do we have? Whitner. He's the new guy. So he is apparently friends with Craig. He's kind of friends with everybody. Everyone's known him. He's friends with Shep, and then he went to law school with Craig, but he's the one who actually graduated. And he is an actual lawyer, it appears. And Craig can lie all he wants and say that he's a lawyer and a storyteller. No, no, no. You are not. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. You're not. The fact that you cannot practice law is the definition of you not being a lawyer. I can say I'm a lawyer. I did graduate law school. I haven't practiced in 10 years. But technically, if I would pass the bar right now, I could practice. He doesn't. Remember when he was, I think it was in one of the What Happens Live, when they were testing how much of a liar he is? And he was like, well, I received the diploma or something like that. And he was like, it's by definition not you being a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. You're a liar. Liar. And good on Paige dumping his ass because he was jealous of her success anyway. She's so shining right now. I'm so proud of her. He's just, if you've watched Summer House last season, he was just not having it. She was going on tour. He was just not been. He's not been a supportive boyfriend, happy for her success. He just left. Felt like he was left behind, and this is not what you want in a partner. Definitely do not marry him or move to Charleston because he's gonna put you in a cage and kind of like put you down and try and lift himself up so he feels better. Like that's just a low vibration human being. Like no, I was actually really afraid that in Southern Hospitality, Maddie and Joey Bottles, that he was going to do the same when he was trying to get her to move in with him. She made a really good point where she was like, well, you were giving me shit when I moved in with that taxi bike guy after like a few months, and now you're trying to do the same. Anyway, that's a different show, but there's parallels between these two. And then Joey, comparing to this idiot, actually handled it well, and and he actually voiced it well, and he was like, yeah, I feel like I'm being left behind and she's just gonna go on all of these tours. I'm afraid to lose her. This one would never admit that. He would just portray Paige as a selfish girl, like not checking in on him or not being fully in the relationship. She was fucking traveling to Charleston instead of spending time in New York where all of her family is. Like, just ungrateful. Truly just ungrateful boy. He's not a man. Just a man-child. Hey, Sabrina Carpenter. So, yeah, Corey's back. I don't know, like Molly said it perfectly. Just fuck boy. And we know him from, Summer House and Winter House, Summer House. He's not bad to look at, but there's no substance to this guy. He needs to go. Like, or not. I don't know. He's just furniture at this point to me. Like, he's not going to bring anything. I want to see more from Rod this season. I didn't like him since season 9 because of the way that he went after Olivia in the reunion. He was like diehard supportive of Taylor, even though she was in the wrong and she was the one who hooked up with Olivia's ex and was entertaining a possibility of like dating him when Olivia was literally just recovering, and she was recovering from her very first reunion of season 8 and was gone for a week. And Taylor was like, well, yeah, but you were gone, Olivia. A week. Work week. What the fuck? It would take me sometimes a week to recover from a fucking night out. What are you talking about? Where was your brain? Anyway, so Rodrigo was making faces at Olivia, like, or something like that. It was like, just so disrespectful. Like, I understand you're friends with Taylor. Can't you see both sides? Just But he's been making good points so far in the last 2 seasons, so I don't mind seeing what he's got to say. Um, and want to kind of see more. I like his husband. I like him. I need gays in the South. That's why I like the Southern hospitality. They touch very closely on this topic, and how traditional the South is, and the struggles the community goes through there. I kind of want more of that representation, and I want storylines from those people. But I'm not the producer, just a random chick on the internet with a lot of opinions. Um, and lastly, I think Madison. Very happy that she's friends with Austin, and they are basically girlfriends, and they are able to keep a friendship. Brett is not jealous in any way. I think to him, it doesn't even come up in his head that Austin was her ex. They're just so past that, and their life is full of so many other things that it's just a castmate of Madison's, it seems. And I love that. I'm a huge Brett stan. And as we know now, she has her baby girl, Teddy. That's amazing. I'm happy for her. And I want to see more Madison, sassy Madison this season. I know she's not drinking, but hormones, so we'll see if she snaps at someone or like what she has to bring when she's pregnant. Like for example, when Lindsay on Summer House was pregnant, she was like showing a different side of her. So let's see how this one works out. Who else do we have? I think I've touched on the majority of them. Not much else is going on. Patricia, as always, queen of the Southern charm. Whitney, I don't know why he still shows up. He is the producer. Maybe he just needs to stay behind the cameras. And like, he's just creepy at this point. His like like fucking little, like, what, man cave in mom's house. Just sad, man. Just don't appear on TV with these boys. He doesn't have anything to say, doesn't bring much to the table. Why does he have to be on camera? I don't get it. I could do without him. He just gives me the creeps at this point. Like him being around all these young girls. Like Charlie was saying, it's almost as if texting with dad when she was talking about Shep. What about Whitney? Creepy. God. Man needs to settle down. Or just go away from TV. I don't care what you do. Just be gone. So yeah, this is brief summary of my takes, my thoughts on Southern Charm. I'm very curious how this is gonna go, where they're gonna take this season. It's hard to say. It's hard to tell the approach, but it's heavily Craig centric, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. He is just not reading well for me right now. But at least throughout episode 2, he stopped talking about Paige. And even, in episode 1, I felt betrayed. What about that was betrayal? Anyway. This would be a never-ending episode if I start ranting about how he handled the breakup with Paige. He is in the wrong, and he's a villain, not just in her story. You are a villain, sir. Just deal with it. Eat it. Move on. You're allowed to be upset that you got dumped. Your feelings are valid. Just don't be a douchebag to the girl that stood by you and covered your ass for ages and ages, and all of your lies, and dealt with you and just had your back throughout the whole thing. So ungrateful. Paige, so much better off without him. Just, I want to see her shine without him, and I hope he learns from this. And as he says, there's 3 loves, right? So the third love, if that doesn't work out, I hope he learned his lesson and he can be an actual gentleman that he claims to be and not the version that he was. And that's just my hope for him. I don't want to be mean, but I am. So, all right. Well, very nice to talk to everybody. This was the very first episode of Normal is Too Boring for TV. I will be covering a lot of shows and as frequently as possible. The next one's probably going to be Housewives of Salt Lake City, but who knows? We're just going to feel it out and see how it goes. Just going to go with my gut. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk soon and see you on another recap of Southern Charm and whatnot. Everything, really. Bye.